All right, and we are live. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Superherocuts podcast, where we talk all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, joined by Comic Cuts. Brother, how are you doing, bro? What's going on, Jerry? What's
I'm good,
happening?
bro. I am good. Yo, how are you? I just want to say, if any of my haters are here, hello.
Bro, I'll just say this: it's a great day to be alive, man. It's a great day to be alive. It's a great day. Obviously, we are recording a day early. We usually record Tuesdays, but because of the Deadpool trailer, we were so excited that we wanted to obviously talk to you guys today about what's going on. So we hope you guys can come up in here. Before we do anything, as we always say, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. So, we're going to get right to business. So, Deadpool trailer breakdown. So we're going to do things a little different than the other breakdowns that we've done. I have a bunch of screenshots from the trailer that I want to show. So what we're going to do is we're going to give like a reaction / overview of the trailer, and then we'll get into some certain details from the trailer, and Jerry and I are going to break them down bit by bit. So, Comic Cuts, how did you feel about this Deadpool trailer?
It feels good for people to be bought into Marvel hype again. Obviously there is a big retro cameo here, but the trailer didn't even show Wolverine. And honestly, I hate that I just said that, but I feel that it was the best thing they did, as great as the entire trailer was not show Wolverine, because now everyone is bought into this movie for Deadpool, for everything that they showed in the trailer, and not just Wolverine. And not people aren't on Twitter saying, or X saying, I am so excited for this movie because I can't wait to see Wolverine. And I'm not saying that it's not something to be excited for. Obviously, we're all going crazy over Wolverine. But people are bought into this movie because of the multiverse, because of the TVA, because of Deadpool, because of Secret Wars issue number 5, Easter egg, possibly seeing Elektra. The cameos were pushed to the side. And I think that's the best thing they did. And it almost makes me think the people at Marvel might just be watching Superherocuts.
Yeah, dude. It seems like they've really awakened. And honestly, bro, I think that this is one of the situations. Oh, hold on one second. My bad. My wife is bringing me a water. My throat. So scratchy a little bit. This is one of the situations where leaks have played the greatest role in Wolverine. Because to be honest, bro, if people didn't see Wolverine's suit, I think there would have been a lot of it. But the fact that kind of the anticipation for the costume has already been met, a lot of people were kind of just wondering, like, okay, we see that the big draw is obviously Wolverine. What else? What else? And we're going to get to this when we get to the breakdown. But the quality of this movie, bro, the quality of the trailer is phenomenal. And I mean, this is a perfect trailer. I don't know what else to say. It's perfect.
Best trailer in a long time.
Yeah, bro, this the best trailer we've seen. I mean, I
probably since
like,
the Batman. Probably since the Batman.
I mean, and to be honest, bro, I always thought that the No Way Home trailers weren't really that great. Like, I was never really like into the No Way Home trailers personally.
People were just geeking over the cameos, and again, this cameo thing, it's gonna die hard.
I disagree, but but I do think that Marvel's going to kind of put a shut on it after Secret Wars for sure and stick with what they got. But with that being said, dude, I really just love this trailer in general, and having the me, bro. I love the TVA, so I'm happy that the TVA, was in there and stuff like that. So, but before we get into the breakdown, I want to read you this, because I usually don't like want to argue on X, but I did get into a little spat the other day. So
why did
you should be proud of me. You should be proud of me. You should be proud of
me. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, because usually like I'm super chill, but I got super annoyed. So so My Time to Shine posted the Deadpool and Wolverine title card, and this guy Willowcat said this: the TVA took me out of it. In all honesty, they're one of my least favorite parts of the MCU by far. and having them be so important to the plot kind of just kills my investment. And I said, a bad take, bro. I said bad take, bro. And then I'm gonna respond probably later on night. But he said, nah, he is right. Everything is good except the TVA saved them for the shows. Where did this hate from the TVA come from?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The TVA is probably one of the best things that come out of the shows. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I love the idea. The TVA is so cool. There's like the thing about the TVA that makes it so great is that they are like the TVA is like the core of the multiverse within the MCU. And on top of that, like the style of the TVA, like the retro TV Miss Minutes, animation style is so cool. They hit the nail on the head with that. And, with the retro TVs, with the dials, like that shit is raw, man. And if you don't like the TVA, like I just don't think you understand Marvel. I really don't.
Bro, did you also peep that the TVA had new suits? So film budget's going up, baby.
The black and red ones, right?
Them Jones was hard, bro. Them Jones was hard. And let's just read this. Apparently, in our world, it's canon. The TVA is our perspective. Yep. Hi, what's up, Sean? Hungry Almighty. A lot of leaks. Yes. And we're about to go through them all right now. Okay, I know you guys want to get to it, so let's start here. So, the first thing that we see here is, should I move this Deadpool thing right here, like the trailer breakdown to show the whole image? Should I move that? Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we see right here is Deadpool, and if you see the full picture, Deadpool is laying on this concrete, and next to it we see a ripped up Secret Wars. Oh yeah. It's only half. It's only half of it because I only wanted to show the comic book. So right here, you see a ripped up Secret Wars comic book. Now, I do have a theory about what this can lead to, because obviously, if you guys don't know, right, this Secret War comic really focuses on, Battle World, the Beyonder, etc., etc. And I was shopping this idea to Comic Cuts that I have a working theory, and I don't have it done yet. I'm probably going to do a separate video on it. But one of the theories that I've been meditating on in regards to this is, will Deadpool go to the future after Secret Wars or during the Secret Wars time, and will he see Battle World?
Yeah, I already told you. I don't think that we're going to Battle World, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I just don't think that Battle World exists yet. Because for Battle World to exist, we would have to have dealt with multiple incursions, because Battle World is a planet that exists and it's made from scraps of planets that died from incursions. And I don't see Marvel taking us to that point so quickly within one movie. I think if this Secret Wars means anything, I think that we might start to see incursions. I think there might be a hint of Doctor Doom. Maybe we see Doctor Doom, in a post-credit scene. I don't know that we're going to see Doctor Doom in full, in the flesh, within this movie. However, I also don't want to rule that out, because this is the only Marvel movie we're getting this year. And in 2025, we're going to have a Fantastic Four movie. Now, we know Doctor Doom is not going to be in that Fantastic Four movie. However, I do think in that Fantastic Four movie, we are going to be much deeper into the storyline of incursions, because Reed Richards is like the number one guy in preventing incursions within the Marvel universe. So I don't see Marvel not capitalizing on that because, and I'm not talking about capitalizing on it for the movie's success or anything like that. My point in, I think they're going to capitalize on it because in 2025, they're going to need to drive the storyline of the Marvel incursions far to get us close to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Not that Kang Dynasty has anything to do with incursions in the comics, but I'm willing to bet it will in the movies. It has to for this thing to work. But my point is they're going to capitalize on the Fantastic Four in terms of driving the incursion storyline further to get us into Secret Wars. I just don't see them doing that in Deadpool. Deadpool, it's just not necessarily that he's not that guy. It's just too soon. And
so I think you're wrong, but I have a theory.
I don't.
I think you're wrong because I think you're missing somewhat of the context. But I don't. I want to save it because there's something that I want to talk about after we get through this. You know what I mean? That will connect that theory. I honestly shouldn't have brought it up because you'll see. Okay. Let's get to the next day, but super dope that they even have this Easter egg of the Secret Wars comic.
I hope it's more than an Easter egg.
Yeah, and I have as I said, I think my theory. I think when I tell you my theory, you might sway over to my side. All right, next thing. So our first look at Alioth and Loki in the first trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. So for some odd reason, the TVA is in the void with Deadpool. And obviously, we all know that a lot of the movie takes place in the void, maybe a final battle, and we all saw that when the leaks were out, they were filming there. So here's what what I really think is going on. As I said, I think this is one of the final battles. I think this is where we are going to see the old school Fantastic Four and all of those type of characters pop up for the final battle. This is also, I'm pretty sure from the trailer, this is most likely where Deadpool meets Wolverine. And even if this is not the final battle, because I was reading someone, I was reading what someone wrote about Deadpool earlier, and they said that this is most likely the first 40 minutes of the film, which could be true, bro. It could honestly be true. So, but yeah, I think this is just a battle, but I think it's super cool seeing Alioth back, and it seems like Alioth will be taking a different form, and it seems to me, bro, that Alioth will be taking the form of a cloud, not necessarily this big monster that we saw in the Loki show. And this also confirms a theory this also confirms something that a lot of people were disagreeing with me on, because a lot of people thought that in the Loki show that Ravonna got killed by Alioth, and I told everybody that it was not Alioth because we saw a glow, which was Kang the Conqueror, and we see in the trailer that when Alioth eats this TVA agent, there is no glow that we saw when Ravonna was in the void. So this also confirms that. So yeah, pretty dope, pretty hyped about see the Alioth.
Yeah, dope.
Do you have anything?
Nah, listen, it's cool. More Loki crossover, the better. But of all the things in the trailer, this is one of the things that I'm least excited about. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not totally geeked out over it. The action, the TVA, the Secret Wars issue. I just think this was bottom of the list for me.
Yeah, let's read some chats while we're here. I think we read that. I'll have friends who don't even know the TVA. LOL, yeah, probably. Notice the drink. Are you talking about the last one slide, Brendan? I don't see a drink, but maybe it's on the full image. You think that Wolverine is the same Wolverine post ending of Days of Future Past? We never really saw, but we never really knew what happened to that timeline after Days Future Past. Bro, I'm not entirely sure what version of Wolverine that is. To be honest, I think what they're going to do, bro, is they're going to try to get away from that whole storyline in general, because the one thing Hugh Jackman has been saying is that this doesn't affect any of the the Logan timeline. So my guess is that this is probably a Wolverine from a whole different universe with a comic accurate X-Men. That's kind of what I'm thinking. How about you? Do you think that this is going to be a whole different Wolverine, or do you think this is going to be one from the past? It's just not the
So
Logan Wolverine.
I think it's going to be. I think they're going to have some fun with it, like because they already said that it's pre-Logan. You know, it has to be because Logan. You know, Wolverine died in Logan. You know, I'm sure someone's going to complain that I spoiled a 8-year-old movie, but whatever. You know,
Yeah,
but screw them. They're probably one of my haters from Twitter.
You're right.
Yeah, you know, I listen. I think they're going to have fun with it, and I think it's going to be a variant because I think they're gonna have fun and take creative liberties, and that's going to be how they explain him having a completely different suit. And because he has a different suit, to explain the differences, that's where I think they're going to have some creative liberties.
For sure, for sure. Look at the drink next to the poster on the ground.
Yeah, bro, what are you talking about?
Well, which image are you talking about, yo? Brendan, you are confusing me. Yo, Brendan, you have my phone number, bro. Just text me the image. Let's see. What did Hungry Almighty say? I mean, you can easily say Logan is an alternate universe, and this Wolverine is a variant where the X-Men 1 3. Yeah, it could. I mean, for me, bro,
the reason I don't think that's the case because they're gonna have to explain this completely different suit that he never had in any of those Fox X-Men movies. And it's a multiverse movie, so it's easier to just say Wolverine variant, the one you never met before. This is the guy.
Exactly. Also, X-23 is rumored to be in the movie with like a similar costume as well. So it's probably gonna be an alternate. Okay. Now this is dope. Just some super cool stuff. Aaron Stanford from X2 will return as Pyro in Deadpool and Wolverine. He was in the trailer. Super dope to see him back. He even posted something on Instagram. So shout out to him. Super awesome to see, you know, old characters coming back.
Yeah. You know, so I grew up on those X-Men movies. You know, it's funny. I was with my friend's brother recently, and I remember going to see X-Men 3 in theaters with my friend and my friend's Nana. And we were like halfway through the movie, and she taps my friend. She goes, Mark, who's the X-Men? And he got so embarrassed. He was like, shut up, Nana.
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah, embarrassing me in front of all the geeks. You know, yeah, I think it's dope. It's cool that he's going to be back. You know what I don't like? I don't like how all these corny ass media companies will post X actor says he would love to play this Marvel character or return as this Marvel character. And no hate to Aaron Stanford, but like, why wouldn't they want to come back? Most of these actors aren't doing much anyway, and it's a big payday. Of course they want to come back. It's not news. Get some better content, man.
I mean, you don't have to explain the costume change. I'm not saying it's the same as it's the same as Zach Wolverine from 1 to 3, but you can say that this Wolverine went through similar X-Men 1 to 2, 3 events, essentially picking and choosing.
That's true. You don't have to. I'm just saying what I think is going to happen.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure either way. I mean, for me, either way, I don't care. I'm just happy that he's in the suit.
Yeah, same. I really don't care. Yeah,
yeah. But Hungry Almighty, this is what the channel's for, to overanalyze things. That is what we do. So you were on brand, dude. I love you. Okay, now Comic Cuts actually sent me a potential rumor about this one. So this is Patch from Deadpool 3, another Wolverine variant. So the rumor that's kind of been going around is that this version of Patch that is in Deadpool 3, he's going to be played by Daniel Radcliffe. And if you don't know who Daniel or is it David or Daniel Radcliffe? I think it's David Radcliffe. Hold on 1 second. Okay, his name is. So yeah, I was right. It's played by Daniel Radcliffe. If you don't know who Daniel,
are you sure that Daniel Radcliffe is in it, or is that the rumor?
No. It's a rumor. Man, I hope he's not.
I really hope he's not.
Yeah, so the rumor. So if you don't know who Daniel Radcliffe is, he obviously played Harry Potter, and
Daniel
there's
Boring Cliff.
shit show. Potter's to go. Anyways, but yeah, so a lot of people have been really hyping him up for the past couple of years that he was going to be the next Wolverine, which is obviously not going to happen. But it would be funny if he was. But this looks like Hugh Jackman to me. Not going to lie, I'm pretty sure they're just going to stick with the Hugh Jackman variants. I don't really see a Daniel Radcliffe being Wolverine, but if he was, like, I really would not care. It's fun.
The reason I don't think it's going to happen in this movie is because, like, I don't. There's no way Hugh Jackman is signing on to return as Wolverine in the X-Men movies once the MCU brings over the X-Men. And I know a lot of people are probably hoping for that to happen. He's too old. He's made a ton of money, and he has no need to come back to that level of demanding work on his body and in terms of scheduling. And he doesn't need the fame. He doesn't need the money. And I'm sure Kevin Feige would rather have someone younger that they could, play with, for 10 years, similar to what James Gunn's focused on with his casting for the DCU. I also don't think it's going to be Daniel Radcliffe. I think that's just, there are a lot of fan castings that go viral because the actor looks like the part. And I just don't think Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know. I just don't see them going with it. I feel like they're going to go with
Taron Egerton will be great as Wolverine.
We've been throwing his name out a lot lately, and I like him. And I think he would be great Wolverine.
I agree. I think it'd be great. And he's short. Hugh Jackman like 6'2". All right. What if the multiple variants of Wolverine and Marvel is using that to see which one do people like, and the one that they most like is going to play the main MCU version post Secret Wars? That would be funny. But that also is a very unprofessional way to go about it. Like, I mean, this is MCU, which is the biggest movie franchise of all time. You should have enough, people to be able to cash on people, and like you should have a good enough casting staff to be able to understand what the fans want in a Wolverine.
And they're not going to take the shine away from Hugh Jackman coming back and dilute Deadpool 3 for a casting brawl.
Yeah, that would actually be wild. But it would be funny, but that would be very unprofessional. But
it would be crazy.
All right, now this next thing. Now, for all of the people who are, I'm not going to say simple-minded, but for all the naive people, this is not Doctor Doom. Okay, let's get the way. There's no way we will see Doctor Doom holding a handgun. Okay, there's no way. Okay, he's too powerful for all that. But I wouldn't be against this being a Doctor Doom henchman, and I say that because where this is technically, from what I've seen in the trailer, this is in a void. Okay, so, and obviously with Deadpool going back and hanging out with different Fox characters, I wouldn't be surprised if the original Doctor Doom from the first Fantastic Four movie is in this movie playing Doctor Doom. And that's kind of who I think is going to play Doom if he's in this film. I don't think we are going to see the new Doctor Doom for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I think this could be a Doom henchman or someone like that. There's no way they would make a character look like this without it being connected to Doctor Doom somehow. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing.
That would piss me off if they are going to tease us
you off
with a retro Doctor Doom cameo that, like, nobody really cares about. Like, just give us Doctor Doom at that point.
So would you be mad if they tease you with the retro Fantastic Four? Because they are.
You don't know that. How do you know that the retro Fantastic Four is going to be in this? You have no idea. You think you're speculating it, but you don't know that.
They have to, bro. Come on, bro. They're honoring the Fox universe. Everyone's coming back.
No, bro.
We're going to see Halle Berry back. We're going to see Chris Evans, Jessica Alba. The whole gang's coming back, bro. Come on. This is Deadpool 3.
Bro.
Ending the Fox era.
I still don't know that all those characters are coming back. I don't know.
Man, I can't wait till we see this movie, and you're going, and I'm gonna call you. I told you, bro. I told you. I'm gonna be screaming on the phone, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You're sleeping. But yeah, I do think this is a Doctor Doom henchman, and I think it's super dope. And I think we're going to see a variant of Doom. I don't think we're going to see like Cillian Murphy pop up or whoever's playing Doctor Doom. That's kind of where I stand at the moment. The way that Robert Downey's been talking about Marvel, who knows if Cillian Murphy's even going to play a character at this point? Jeez, Downey's getting on my nerves.
They should put Cillian Murphy in it, because if they like, people would go crazy. That would be like the biggest, or whoever the Doom actor is. That would go. People would lose their minds. People would be talking about this movie the same way Infinity War.
Yeah, I think the question is, does he want to play? I wish we like were in these studios. I wonder if he's asking for the role, asking for a script. I would love to see like where he's at. But yeah, give me either him or Adam Driver, and I'm totally fine. That's kind of where I'm at. If Cillian says no, go for Adam Driver. Those are two perfect guys. So yeah, and
I don't
honestly,
think it's gonna be Adam Driver.
And honestly, just being real, and remember when you and I talked about this, we wanted Pedro Pascal to be Doctor Doom. So, but you know, I think Pedro would have been a great
by the way, like, the more I think about it, the more annoyed I am Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards.
He's going to be great. You're hating. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Listen, I don't put it past him to surprise me, because, you know, he did with Joel in The Last of Us.
Yeah, I doubted him in that as well. I thought he was going to be terrible.
But like, John Krasinski would make such a better Reed Richards than Pedro Pascal.
He's not a better actor than Pedro.
I disagree with you.
100% he's not a better actor than Pedro, bro.
John Krasinski is a phenomenal actor, bro.
He is phenomenal. He's not better than Pedro Pascal, brother.
Did you watch Jack Ryan?
Yes.
And you don't think John Krasinski is on the same level, at least, as Pedro Pascal? And by the way, even if he isn't on the same level than Pedro Pascal, I still think he fits the role better. Like, you don't necessarily have to be a better actor than someone to perform in a specific role better than that person. You might just be better fit for that role.
I think you're attached to John, though, because he looks more like Reed than Pedro does. I think that when the look changes of who Pedro, because look, and I was really saying this to Brendan on the phone earlier.
The voice too.
A lot of people forget Pedro's an actor. It's his job to transform. It's an actor's job to transform into a character. So I believe that Pedro's going to transform into someone like Reed Richards. Now, if this dude takes, you know, the Mandalorian character and his character from Last of Us and try to form that into Reed, then we have a problem. But I don't think that's what I'm, because when I watched John Krasinski act as Reed, the dude was just being himself. It didn't look like he was acting like Reed. Now, obviously, that script sucked in Multiverse of Madness for Reed. But I don't.
I'm shocked to hear you knock Multiverse of Madness.
The writing for Mr. Fantastic was trash. I'm saying, but
I think John Krasinski is the perfect Reed Richards. Like, when I think of Reed Richards, after that, like, I feel like John Krasinski was born to play Reed Richards. I agree with you that he is the perfect fit. But if he didn't accept the role like he didn't, the next best person out of us, or not the next best person, one of the best people to take the role that is proven to be a great actor and to become the character, who else would be better? There were so many names we mentioned that would have been better.
So you would take Adam. So you would have taken Adam
Driver
over Pascal
in a heartbeat.
Really?
The other thing that I hold against the Pedro Pascal casting is when I think of like Reed Richards' voice and I hear Pedro Pascal's voice, like, that is so off. That is not how Reed Richards sounds.
But you never heard Reed talk. You never heard Reed talk. You don't know. You're gonna know the pronunciations and the accents that he's gonna have.
Of course, I've heard him talk.
I'm saying as Reed. I'm saying as Reed. And that's what I'm saying. You know, give him a chance. He has to transform into this character, and that's why I'm giving him good grace, because I have to see him transform because I felt the same with Jonathan Majors as well. I was like, how is this dude going to sound like an intellectual person? Every time I hear him talk, he sounds like he doesn't know English. No offense to him. But he talked like he had CTE. Yeah, he talked like he had CTE. But then when I heard him talk as Kang, let's be honest. He talked like he got freaking hit in the head 7 times with a freaking bowling ball. But just being real, guys. But then when I heard him as Kang, he sounded like a freaking genius. You know what I mean? So, it's all about the level of actor. And to me, I think, Reed Richards is going to show us the level of actor that Pedro Pascal is, because if he fails, let me tell you this. If the fans hate him as Mr. Fantastic, he will ride that Star Wars Mandalorian boat to the moon. But I promise you, if Mr. Fantastic works, he's done with Star Wars. And I have faith that this whole Pascal thing is going to work. And I think he's going to ride this Mr. Fantastic thing for next maybe 20 years, just being real. Like, I think he has the cojones to play that great of a character. And look, he is the safe choice. I will agree. I wanted John too. But at this point, I would go with the safe choice, then take a risk, because John Krasinski didn't want the part. Just being real.
I don't know that he's going to be able to change his voice in the way that he needs to, because, and yes, like, I know voice acting is a thing in its own right, but I'm not a voice actor, and I also don't know how much you could change your voice. So maybe I'm off base here, but Pedro Pascal has like a very scratchy voice, and that might be part of his ethnic accent. And if that's the case, like, nothing wrong with that. But in the context of Reed Richards' voice, I don't think that accent works. That scratchy sound that he has in his voice.
What makes you think he's not working with the vocal coach to work on that? Like they're like, there's ways that they can improve.
Right.
And look, I'll even take Chadwick Boseman for an example, right? One of my biggest pet peeves was that, because I knew Chadwick Boseman from other films before he got the Black Panther role. Yeah. One of my issues, and mind you, I was in high school thinking deep like this. I was a freaking nerd. One of the problems that I had with Boseman is that I felt like his voice as T'Challa wasn't commanding. When I thought of T'Challa, I wanted a stronger voice, if that makes sense. I wanted like Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa voice is very soft, right? And you agree? It's very like soft spoken. But Chadwick Boseman's aura and presence and acting as T'Challa is so good that I stopped caring about the voice. And so if Pedro does have the voice, he has to play his card. But Chadwick, the aura has to be so good that
Chadwick did the accent right, and his voice wasn't like, you didn't hear Chadwick's voice and think, yeah, that's not like, that won't work as Black Panther. By the way, I watched Black Panther the other day, and I've always been, like, hesitant to put that movie on since the
first one or Wakanda Forever.
The first one. I tried to watch Wakanda Forever again, and I couldn't, because Wakanda Forever starts out and you think it's going to be like, it has all the cards to be such an epic movie, and it just wasn't, because they didn't cast T'Challa and they listened to the moron fans.
Go ahead.
But when I went to watch, so I was hesitant to put Black Panther on for a while, because I was like, it's a waste. But I was like, you know what? I read the Ultimate Black Panther comic. I was really
fire, by the way.
Fire. And if you watch Black Panther or Black Panther Wakanda Forever, at least when I do, I get pissed off. I get pissed off when I see the first one that they didn't recast T'Challa, and I get pissed off when I watch the second one, because the movie sucks and it should have been fire. And shame on all the fans for being so soft and so sensitive and demanding shit because they couldn't handle it. And then when the movie came out, they had the nerve to complain. It was your fault.
Exactly. All right, back to the trailer.
Fault.
Yo, every episode, Comic Cuts will give you a rant on this, because he loves Black Panther. Like Black Panther is one of his favorite characters in comics. And so I love the passion. Let me just read his last comment. I'm with Comic Cuts. I can see Pascal as like a rebooted Bruce Banner. Bro, You guys are killing me. Yes, he's reading
I
30
like
Reed.
that. I wouldn't. By the
Pedro
way,
as Bruce Banner would be fire.
they should
I like him
fire
as Doom.
They should fire Mark Ruffalo's ass and hand that role to Pedro Pascal.
All right,
Mark Ruffalo.
Deadpool.
There is no actor that has done more damage to their character in Marvel, or maybe period, than Mark Ruffalo has done to Hulk. People think the Hulk is I was going to say a P word, but I'm not going to say.
But it's not his fault. That's the writers. He doesn't write the script.
I don't know. I think it's his fault too.
Okay.
Listen, there's a reason they write every character great, but for some reason, when it comes to the Hulk, nah, bro. Mark Ruffalo did that character dirty.
Okay. No more diversions. Let's just get through this breakdown because we got like 7 more topics. All right. All right. We're 35 minutes in. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get through this. All right. Deadpool in the same place as the opening scene of Avengers Age of Ultron. I think what is happening here, I think there's either 2 scenarios. Either the first scenario is that Deadpool kind of going to be like falling through a bunch of like just Earths, and I think he might end up in this point of Avengers Age of Ultron. Or I do think that this could also, because one of the main villains is going to be Professor X's twin sister, who is very evil. If you read the comics, this chick is a savage, killed millions of mutants. Like this girl is a comic cuts know she's a monster. She and so I can see her maybe recruiting Wanda and Pietro. Maybe Magneto is working with Professor X's twin sister as well. Maybe that's why. So we might see an interaction with What if it's Fassbender? I will
see
cry.
That's a retro cameo I would lose my shit for.
Bro, if Fassbender is like having a fatherly connection with Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, I might tear up. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, let me not.
Fassbender Magneto is one of the best castings of all time. Period.
Yo, I would honestly bring him back to the MCU, and I will act like it's a whole new. I would act like it's a whole new character, bro.
They
honestly.
should. He's young enough. Like they really should.
I agree. I will bring back both McAvoy and Fass. I'll bring them both back, honestly. But anyways, all right.
Yeah.
Off topic. Okay. Now, in this scene here in the trailer, this part shows where Deadpool is basically seeing all of the MCU events. I'm really excited to see his reaction to all of these other heroes because, it's going to be his first time seeing that greater heroes than him exist. Like, look, we're seeing Iron Man, we're seeing Thor, we're seeing the Avengers. There's also a part where Deadpool sees Captain America and then salutes him, which is freaking awesome. So, it's kind of bringing this thing to reality that we've been talking about. And like, to me, it's always felt like a distant, like, imagination that the Fox universe has collabed with the MCU, and this is bringing it to life, which really excites me.
Yeah.
And then here we get a sneak peek at Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova in the Deadpool and Wolverine film. This is Professor X's twin sister. Quick story on how she came about. So basically, they were in the same room. I'm not sure if Professor X created her. Did he create her himself? I'm pretty sure he created her like in his mind or something. I think he did. Yeah, he created her in his mind, and then she was a stillborn baby, but she wasn't. She ended up living and basically, wanted to cause revenge, goes to Genosha, kills millions of mutants, just a literal savage. So super awesome there. And then we also see Matthew McFadden as a TVA agent in the Deadpool and Wolverine film. Want to talk about this, and you can leave a comment if you want to in the chat. Obviously, Jerry. So this is what I think. Obviously, at the end of Loki season 2, Mobius is retired. So he obviously hung it up. I do think because of the events in Deadpool, they are going to bring Mobius back out of retirement. And I think that Mobius is going to be the main guy that's going after Loki, mostly because, he is the face of the whole TVA brand. So, that's kind of where I'm at. But I do think that this guy is kind of going to play the pivotal role as, he's probably going to be running operations at the TVA now. They finally have like a leader, and this guy is probably has taken the place of Mobius. But I think Mobius is going to end up coming back just because this guy here probably isn't getting the job done.
By the way, first of all, correction, Professor X didn't create his sister, but I think there's a storyline where she improvises and recreates her own DNA. By the way, this actor, I am so happy is in the MCU. I wish he got a bigger role because he was one of the best characters in Succession. Not a comic book story at all, but if you're interested in like enterprise and entrepreneurship and or really, it's basically loosely based on Rupert Murdoch, who founded Fox News and the Fox Corporation and his family, and it's based on that. But anyway, that's where this actor got super famous from. He's awesome. I just and I'm as excited as I am to see him as a TVA agent, because that's like a perfect casting for him. He is such a phenomenal actor, and I think that I would like to see him stay around the MCU, and I know that this isn't a character that's going to stay around.
Yeah, he might stay through throughout Secret Wars.
Did you watch Succession?
No.
Oh, it's so good. You got to watch it. You should watch it with Emily. She'd like it too.
I'll give it a watch. I bet. Let's get it. Next slide. I think there's no more. Okay, last slide. And now we get a first sneak peek at Hugh Jackman's return as Wolverine in the Deadpool and Wolverine, a movie in theaters July 26th. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where they first meet. That's what it looks like to me. So pretty excited to see them. And what Comic Cut said earlier, I'm really happy that they didn't show him at first. I'm really happy that they didn't show him at all, except this back shot, pause, that we got to see.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now that's pretty much. Wait, do you have anything to say about that shot or no?
I was just gonna say they got people bought in to the movie and not just Wolverine, and that's why only showing this image was a major W.
Exactly. Now I want to talk to you about this theory that's been on my mind lately, my brother, and basically what's been on my mind, bro, is this thing about Loki. So obviously, Loki is holding the TVA together. I forgot to put this in there, but there is a shot of Yggdrasil in the trailer. So here's my theory, bro. Hear this out, because I do think that the TVA is going to, get Deadpool like we see in that first scene in the teaser trailer. But I do think Deadpool is going to resist a lot, and I think who is going to convince him to save the multiverse and to save everyone. I think Loki is going to be that person. Because I could see something to where Loki summons Deadpool to where he is, where there is no space and time, and Loki breaks down everything, saying, "Hey, look, I'm holding everything together, and the multiverse is breaking." And maybe we see where the little multiverse branches are dying in his hands, and I can see Loki tasking Deadpool with saving the multiverse, and maybe Loki could even pay him to what the future can be. Maybe he shows him a distant future with Kang the Conqueror, destroying everyone, And that was where the Battle World theory came from, of what if Loki shows him the future? Not saying that he's going to experience Battle World, but what if Loki shows him of what all the possible futures could be if Deadpool doesn't step up now and have the team of Wolverine and whoever else to help save the Marvel multiverse.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Flash forward to a future on a battle world, that would be cool. I just don't think going there this early without building up the incursion storyline makes any sense. So that's where I was coming from earlier. But with Loki, that would be dope. It would be really cool to see Loki in this movie. And it makes sense, especially with all the TVA.
Yeah, I mean, because in the whole trailer, bro, it seems like not Loki. It seems like Deadpool is killing all the TVA agents. So I feel like the only other force that is going to bring him back to Earth has to be Loki. So
Loki, yeah,
we'll have to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy because and I don't think the next trailer is gonna show anyone else that we're gonna see in the movie big other than Wolverine.
Yeah. All right. Next topic. Okay. So, by the way, Comic Cuts, sit down your mic only because I can hear him move.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. You're good. You're good. The sound is so sensitive. I can go boop, boop, boop.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So, Ghost Rider. So, this was supposed to be a show on Disney Plus. Now it's actually going to be it was supposed to be like a Marvel special presentation. It seemed like this is going to be an actual MCU movie that is canon. So look, I know a lot of people have been talking about the Ghost Rider movie happening for a long time. I would love Ryan Gosling to play Ghost Rider, to be honest. I think it'd be great. Or I think Keanu Reeves is too old, but topic for another day. But yeah, I think that doing a Ghost Rider movie is a great idea. It is a great way to bring in Mephisto. It sucks to me that Ironheart is going to introduce us to Mephisto and not Ghost Rider. That really upsets me because I think Mephisto being introduced in Ghost Rider is way better. But I am excited to see Mephisto in Ghost Rider and building, and we're going to talk about this later on in the episode, adding more people to build us up to the Midnight Suns. And this makes sense, right? We're getting Wolverine in the MCU soon. We are getting Moon Knight is here. We are getting a Blade movie. So, and Doctor Strange is here as well. So it is only right to bring in Ghost Rider. How do you feel about a Ghost Rider movie happening and it's not going to be like a low key, movie or show?
Love it. Ghost Rider's dope character. Definitely makes for a cinema spectacle worthy of his own movie. And I hope we get a Midnight Suns thing. I hope we get a Midnight Suns movie. I think that would be really cool. I think people would really appreciate that. I think the Midnight Suns are a badass team, and I think that could bring a lot of hype to the MCU. I mean, if James Gunn was able to make Guardians of the Galaxy what it was, there's no question they could make the Midnight Suns Thunderbolts are dope, don't get me wrong, but if the Thunderbolts are getting a movie, Midnight Suns absolutely deserve it. And if they're going to do they already have Doctor Strange, they already have Moon Knight. So if they have Ghost Rider, they also are going to have Blade. So I mean, they have enough members to make Midnight Suns movie at this point.
Yeah, I think this is really. I think this is a perfect step. Do you like Ryan Gosling?
I do. Rider? I think he's a great actor. I don't know if he would do it. I don't know if he is an actor. I think some actors look at comic book movies the way the Oscars does, and they kind of look down on the genre. And I'm not saying that Ryan Gosling looks down on it, but I think that some actors see that a lot of the industry does look down on it, and Ryan Gosling might be like, well, if I go into Marvel movies, that might hurt my Oscar chances in another movie, and I think that they see it that way.
I get that, but the do play Ken, bro.
Yes.
And also looking at RDJ making that jump from the superheroes to him getting his finally due and Oppenheimer, I think this would be a fun, venture.
That's true.
It might have changed his view.
That is true. And I thought about the Barbie thing, but Barbie was loved by the awards because it checked the right social issue boxes.
Yeah, but Barbie also did get forgotten in one of those award shows that they were snapping about. I forget. It might have been. Was it the Oscars?
Well, I think people were. Well, it's ironic because people freaked out because
they weren't even nominated.
No, I'm pretty sure they were nominated, but the only big award they took home was Ken. I think he won Best Supporting Actor.
Ken, right? Was it the song or was it?
I don't think it was the song. I think Ryan Gosling won as Best Supporting Actor for Ken in the Barbie movie, and Barbie didn't win Movie of the Year, and Margot Robbie didn't win Best Role of the Year or whatever it was. So people were upset about that.
Yeah. Margot Robbie's another one, man. I mean, she came from Harley Quinn, which I think she played well. But I mean, another trash, universe that she was in, and now she's,
yeah. That's a good point.
So.
That's a good point. So maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. Next topic: Marvel's new plan going forward. So Bob Iger made another speech about what they're going to do in Marvel and I mean it's good news. So so the new thing that he said is that they are going to be focusing on their bigger franchises. And obviously, they're going to be decreasing the output of their shows and movies, which we've seen that come to pass. Right, this year we're only getting one movie and a couple shows, so we've seen that come to pass. And when Bob Iger is talking about bigger franchises, X-Men, Fantastic Four, more Avengers movies, the Thunderbolts might get canceled. So there are a lot of changes that will be happening. So
I hope Thunderbolts doesn't get canceled. I think that is going to be a good movie. But the one thing that I think about when I think about Thunderbolts and a potential Midnight Suns movie, I don't know that the MCU has the luxury that comics do in terms of there's the mainline story in the MCU, and that right now is the multiverse saga with the incursions going into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. If they're going to do, stories on the outside that aren't really relevant to the main storyline going into Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, is it worth it for them? Does it negatively impact the overall story of the MCU? Whereas, like the comics, it's not as big of a deal. I don't know.
I mean, if I was in office, what I would do is I would say I will put the Thunderbolts in Captain America: Brave New World. I will put Midnight Suns and Doctor Strange because I think that's a better way to test out, do people like this group, right? Because you still have your main character, so the movie can still gross a lot. And if they like the group, then you do a Midnight Suns show or movie. I think kind of jumping in with these shows are a little too much. Like I would have been more comfortable with the Thunderbolts being in Brave New World, and if that works out, or even in Eternals 2, put the Thunderbolts in.
They haven't even
Eternals 2. Going to Tiamat Island. That would be super awesome. Yeah. So I would love to see something like that happening, even with the Eternals as well. Maybe the Eternals would have been received well if they came in with another franchise, kind of like what they did with Spider-Man and Black Widow and Hawkeye and a lot of other characters. They really kind of reverted back from what kind of made fans cling to the characters.
Yeah, I just think I don't think fans receive MCU projects well that don't serve the main story. And I think that's where they get in hot water with projects like a Thunderbolts movie that has nothing to do with the multiverse and incursions and so forth.
Yeah, that plays more of a mutants type thing, It plays more of a mutants grounded story versus the multiverse.
Well, Thunderbolts aren't really a mutant story. But
yes, but you can tie it to Weapon X because they could get the adamantium for Thunderbolt Ross to start, and he could get that to and get that government.
So you're saying you think Thunderbolt could help introduce the mutant storyline in the background of? Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
because that's the only way to work. That's the only way to work at this point.
Yeah, because I don't think the MCU. My main point, and this is a better way to phrase it. I don't think the MCU has the luxury of being able to put out projects that do nothing to advance the main storylines or next big coming storyline, because people kind of say, oh, well, this is a shared universe and people are accustomed to these shows and movies that drive this big story home. And when they don't, that shared universe value isn't there. And I think that's what people are looking for with Marvel movies.
Yeah. They don't have the luxury that DC and Star Wars has. DC just has a lot of good characters that you can do Elseworlds projects on, and even with Star Wars, Star Wars is a big universe, and so is Marvel. But with the MCU working already, and with everything being within the storyline, you really can't abandon
the way they've established it, pigeonholed them.
Yep, which is why James Gunn's DCU might be I think his strategy is going to. I think the way he's doing it is going to not put him in the spot that Feige's in now.
That's what I don't think people understand. And it's like James Gunn
I'm
sees
gonna go
what
pee. I'll be right back.
yeah, James Gunn sees what the MCU has done, and he is going to take that concept and innovate on it. Like people who are just expecting the DCU to be DC's version of the MCU are in for a very pleasant surprise, because this is going to take that concept and innovate on it in a way that none of us really understand yet. You know, and when I say innovation, I mean innovation, like taking the concept, improving it, making it better, and making it next level. Kind of like a flip phone to a smartphone. Anyway, while you're here, check out my X account at Comics Cuts. You know, we're going to get into it. We have a new segment where I roast some of the dumbest takes on the internet. And yeah, you know, listen, I'm getting a lot of heat on X from a very specific crowd of people who believe that Zack Snyder is the Messiah. And by the way, on the notion of Zack Snyder should have come out and say, hey, I really appreciate your loyalty, but please treat my peers with respect. I think it's shameful that he hasn't.
Oh yeah. All right. Next thing going forward. Okay, so now we got an interesting update on Miles Morales and the live action Spider-Man, because obviously we got told a few months ago that they were working on it, but this was the update from Amy Pascal, who is the president of Sony. She says this. So she said, someday, not until we make 2 more Spider-Verse movies. So that is very interesting, because a lot of people thought that, you know, that this movie that is going to come out in the next year or so, or probably next year, was going to be the last Spider-Verse movie, and that this was going to end, you know, the idea of Miles Morales' animated story, and then this was going to send him into the live action. But now it is being told that we are getting 2 more Spider-Verse movies. This is very, very interesting to me. Number one, because I've been kind of thinking about it. Like, it seems like this version for Spider-Verse is like the perfect ending for him with this third movie. Are they doing, like, is this a 3-part Spider-Verse? Like, is it part 1, part 2, part 3, or what? You know, like, what would that 4th Spider-Verse movie be about if this next Spider-Verse movie is ending this story? So it's very interesting that there's going to be 2 more Spider-Verse films when they've already built it to be a trilogy. But Sony is very known for making terrible decisions.
You know, I always say, put some respect on Sony's name. They've delivered a large number of Fire Spider-Man movies and now 2 epic Spider-Verse movies. I was surprised by this news also, because they've said from like day one they're doing 3 movies. So now we know there is a 4th coming. Is that a Miles Morales movie? Is that a Spider-Punk movie? I could see it being Spider-Punk. I could also see them saying, hold on, we're going to do another Miles Morales movie and call it, well, they're not calling it part 2 anymore. They're calling it Beyond the Spider-Verse. So, but whatever, I think that the last one was obviously half of the movie. My point is, I think they might be splitting it into 3. I think that, or a spin-off of Gwen or Spider-Punk. I think that's what's going to happen. The reason I don't think it's going to be Peter Parker is because there is no better character management in the game other than Spider-Man. And the Spider-Verse movies have been so over the top, wildly successful. And why would they waste that fortune on a character that's already wildly popular when they have the opportunity to make other characters super popular? And I think that they're either going to give this extra movie to Miles or Gwen or Spider-Punk. And I actually, now that I think about it, if it's not going to go to Miles, I think it's going to be Gwen.
Do you like Spider-Gwen?
I do. I think she's a great character. I hope they don't ruin it. With some. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna say I hope they don't ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they are. All right.
I don't know about that one.
All right. Oscar Isaac. Okay, so I know you sent me this topic, so I'll just read what he said, and then I'll let you flow. All right, so this is what he says. Oscar Isaac wants to play Moon Knight in a Midnight Suns movie. He said this: now that we set the ground, learning who Mark, Steven, and Jake are, it could be an interesting opportunity to see him as part of a team.
Yeah. One of the things that, like, I think that's been hurting the MCU is they've been introducing a lot of characters, and the really good ones we never see again. And then Moon Knight has been that guy, What's also really cool about like Moon Knight is in the comics, he uses his alternate personas as an edge, and I hope we see more of that. And I feel like Midnight Suns is the perfect way to introduce that. And when I say as an edge, I mean like in terms of espionage and spying. He uses his alternate personalities and espionage. And I think Midnight Suns is a great way to like the thing that's so great about team movies is they highlight characters' strengths and weaknesses by relying on other characters. The first Avengers was like textbook of what I'm talking about in terms of highlighting each other's strengths and weaknesses. Moon Knight is such a good character for that, and his comics are like so dope. And I hope they do more of that. Also, it's crazy to me that they casted him with Oscar Isaac and we haven't seen the character again because, Oscar Isaac is like, he's like right up there with Pedro Pascal, I feel like. And
better actor than Pedro. Way better.
I agree. But yeah, and we haven't seen him again, which is crazy.
He would have been a great read.
I don't know if I agree with him being a great read.
Do you know he was almost Doctor Strange?
That would have been weird. I think he would be a great Doctor Doom.
Well, bro, he almost got the role of Doctor Strange, but because Benedict turned it down at first.
You know what else he would be great at? Is Kang.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. I think they should get I'm kind of leaning to the place of I would like a really, really young person to play King the Conqueror.
Yeah.
I'm talking like Tom Holland young.
Okay. Yeah. I think how old is Tom Holland? He's probably like 25.
No, bro. Because think about it. What if the Beyonder's like a freaking teenager, bro? That would be wild, bro. That would be wild.
I could see the Beyonder being like young 20s, but not
main King. Not like main King. But I'm saying like what if like King like is scared of the Beyonder and this is freaking like just savage kid. Like anyways,
wait,
all right.
Hold on. I gotta plug my laptop in. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. But yeah, I love the idea of the Midnight Suns. Like one of the characters I would love to see in this is Punisher. Punisher in the Midnight Suns is a freaking W. I will be actually really excited to see them all together. And as I said, I would like to see the Midnight Suns in like a Doctor Strange 3 movie. I don't really want them to get their own movie because the group movie thing just isn't really as popular. And with fans, you don't want to have too many group movie films because it will confuse a lot of people. Brendan, yes, Ghost Rider. By the way, Brendan, we talked about Ghost Rider earlier, bro. You missed it. But yeah, so I'll be super excited to see that going on. So we have a couple more topics left for you guys. So here we go. Mando. The Mando movie starts filming soon. Really excited about that. This is just a quick one for you guys. I'm really hyped to see this Mando film. I hope all the fans go out and watch this because if this does $1 billion, we will not get the Rey movie. Hopefully. If this Mando movie does $1 billion in theaters, This will tell Star Wars, yo, we need to go all in on Mando and forget the Rey movie. I pray this happens.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They got to scrap that. Dude, my favorite rapper, he tweeted, hold on.
Was it about Star Wars?
Yeah. He wrote, where is it? It was the meme of, Travis Kelce shoving Andy Reid. Yeah, and he was like, hold on. Hold on. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you send me that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Okay. Now, I need your undivided attention for this one. Okay. So there's a rumor that there's a Teen Titans project going on. I'm going to let you flow because I know you're passionate about this. How would you feel about a Teen Titans project happening in the DCU?
I don't have a problem with it. I think that they should do it after Batman the Brave and the Bold. If they're going to use Damian, which I'm assuming they are.
Would you want Nightwing and Starfire to be the mentors of the team? Like, would you want that type, or would you want them to start like back in the day?
I actually think that would be best because I think. Listen, I want there to be a Bat family in the DCU, and I'm not saying they have to be, running around together 24/7. But my point is, if they're going to be in the DCU, you have to have, Dick Grayson has to be Nightwing for Batman to have Damian, his son, who's younger, as Robin. So to introduce Nightwing, it makes sense to have him with the Teen Titans.
I think it would be dope to have Nightwing mentoring Damian Wayne and doing it that way, and like even having a story where like Jason Todd might pop up as Red Hood in the story,
Yeah, but I don't think Nightwing's gonna mentor Damian while Batman is. You know what I mean?
No, but there's gonna be like Damian does something stupid, and Bruce is like, "All right, you gotta take this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hold
on, get out of here.
My son, you're wildin'. I gotta send you away. Because Damian's a wild dude, bro. He really is, bro. Did you watch the animated Teen Titans film with him, bro?
The Judas Contract?
No. I think the first one. I'm gonna send you that, John, bro. Because Damian literally like darn near cusses out Wonder Woman, bro. I love Damian, man. He's such a savage. He's a savage.
He's the best. He's my favorite Robin.
He is. Because he just don't care. And you there's nothing better than someone who don't care. All right. Now
he's cocky.
Yes. Because he's like that. He's him. He is.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna let you have your rant, okay? Mark Ruffalo confirmed today that he's gonna be in Captain America: Brave New World. All you, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, there are other characters they could use to, incorporate the rest of the MCU into this movie, but Hulk is not that guy. And, they need this movie to be a banger because, listen, I love Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson. If you've been listening to us for a while, I'm a fan. But unfortunately, there are a lot of fans that aren't sold on Sam Wilson, Captain America. And because of that, you need this movie to succeed because you need to win those fans over. Having said that, the way to not win those fans over is to putting in an A-list character who's really a B-list character because the actor sucks. And that is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk has been a watered-down version of the Hulk. He's a soft Hulk. He is never good. The only thing he adds to any movie he is in is spectacle when he is the Hulk. And even then, it's a scene that always feels like took too much of the budget because it wasn't really great. And a perfect example of what I'm talking about is the scene when Tony uses the Hulkbuster on the Hulk in Age of Ultron. That scene felt unnecessary. It felt like it was there to justify the Hulk being in the movie and Mark Ruffalo's payday. Mark Ruffalo sucks. He's not a good actor. He's not a good Hulk. And I just think that, this isn't the movie to include him to justify a contractual commitment that you have with Mark Ruffalo. Scrap him out of this movie. You need this movie to be a success, and don't let Mark Ruffalo scuffle that.
What if it's just Savage Hulk the whole movie? Would you be mad at that? Like, what if it's barely any Mark and it's just Savage Hulk? Can't be mad at that.
Well, I just think they're better characters to use for this movie. Like, even if it's Savage Hulk, why? Why is he there?
To fight against Red Hulk.
Yeah, but then that's the part of the problem, because you need Captain America to be the star of this movie, and
he will.
If you're not if he's not the one that can take out the big bad.
Yeah, but the thing that I'm trying to tell you is that I think that there's going to be more than one person. Like, what if he's fighting U.S. Agent or whoever? I don't know. What if he's fighting someone else, and then Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is taking on Red Hulk? Like, do you really think of a vibranium suit, Steve? Not Steve. Do you think a vibranium suit? What's his name?
Sam Wilson.
Sam is going to take on the Red Hulk, bro? Hell no.
So I don't know about that, actually. When he's flying with his missiles, you think
that's touching Red Hulk? He's not beating Green Hulk with that, dude. There's no way. He's getting destroyed. So there has to be a more powerful person to.
I don't know. Like Stan Lee says, whoever wins is whoever the writer wants to win. And if they want to write Sam Wilson beating Red Hulk, I'm sure they can make it work. Listen, I don't think
unless
Hulk,
he has like an anti-serum, then I guess that would work. But I wouldn't mind some smashing. Pause.
It's funny you say that, because I do like the only way to enjoy the Hulk is with action. So I guess if they are going to do it, that's the best way to do it. But I still would prefer a better character.
Steve, yeah, exactly. Venture, he's getting cooked either way. Do you think that so did you also think that Mark Ruffalo said Kevin Feige told him that he's never?
I think Venture's just trying to defend Ruffalo.
Are you a Ruffalo Venture or no? He might be. I'm not sure. But I was saying Ruffalo also got told by Feige that he will never have his own Hawk solo film. I don't think the Hawk is meant for. I don't think the Hawk is meant for a solo movie either way, because he's too much of a repetitive character. Just being real.
Yeah, if they were to do a Hulk storyline, it just in terms of driving the MCU story forward, maybe Planet Hulk, but how do you even do that? It's just
Hulk and Wolverine. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Do you know the Planet Hulk storyline?
I read some of it.
Okay.
I might. But now that you bring it up, I might read it tomorrow.
It's all right. I mean, people like it for a Hulk story. Yeah. For those of you that are unfamiliar, the Hulk causes so much mayhem on Earth that the Avengers send him off to another planet because they don't know what to do with him, and he takes over the other planet. It's actually a pretty cool storyline for a Hulk story, but there are better comics. My point is, you can't make a movie like that in the MCU in today's day and age, because it doesn't really drive the story forward. It's not going to do anything to drive the mutant story forward. And similar to what we were saying before, with the way the MCU has established their universe, if a project doesn't drive the main storyline forward, it doesn't have shared universe value, and it doesn't get received well. So I don't know. I think that I think Thor Ragnarok is overrated. I'm definitely in that camp, but
you said overrated.
I think that's where the Hulk
he shined in that movie.
Yeah, that was probably his best appearance in the MCU, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that's because Hemsworth, for some reason, him and Hulk just have a really good just on screen camaraderie. Yeah. I will put him back with Thor. I wouldn't mind at this point.
I wouldn't mind. And by the way, I don't think Thor Ragnarok is a bad movie, but people,
it is overhyped though. It's not like a top 5 MCU film of all time,
and people treat it like it is. It really isn't. I would rank both the first Thor and the second Thor above Ragnarok.
I love Thor Dark World.
Yeah, Thor Dark World is so hated and it's so undeserved.
Yeah. Thor Dark World actually honors the actual what Asgard is supposed to look like. But
yeah.
Anyways, and I think Malekith was fire, but topic for another day. All right. Now let's get into some tweets. I think did I add the ones that you sent me? I think I did. We'll see. Because I might have to reload them. All right, let's get to some tweets. As you guys know, this is where we get into the toxic fanboy stage of our podcast, where Comic Cuts kind of just talks about some things that have been said. So let's talk about it. So this guy, Mr. Nick. Okay, so I'll let you break down your conversation with Nick, and then we'll go through the tweets.
All right. So for those of you who didn't see it, James Gunn posted, I forget where he posted it on, which of the, couple apps that are always popping, but one of the big social media apps that he said that he was like, I really like Dave Bautista and I want to cast him in the DCU, but I don't know where to cast him. I'm open to your suggestions. And, James Gunn could wipe his ass and the Snyder cult will say he did it wrong. Okay. Now, listen, so this guy goes, Mr. Nick, as we'll call him. Imagine Nolan or Scorsese going on Twitter to ask fans suggestions on what they think he should add in his films. Dead emoji. A project worth millions, by the way. It's worth a lot more than that, but whatever. If you don't trust in your own vision, the fuck are you doing as a filmmaker? So I wrote, Snyder Cult says, listen to the fans. James Gunn. Send me suggestions. Snyder Cult. How does anyone take him seriously? This tweet of mine or X post got thousands of views. So, the Snyder Cult, of course, they had to, as usual, throw their tantrum in public, and they did. So let's go through some of the responses I got.
This is
first, whoa, hold up before you. By the way, so the problem with this one is I realized I didn't even take down this guy.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, that was my fault. So, I'm going to go back to so first of all, you're now comparing James Gunn to Christopher Nolan and Martin Scorsese, which nobody would ever compare Zack Snyder to those two. Just saying. Number two, again, you guys always say listen to the fans, and now James Gunn, send me some suggestions. How does anyone take it seriously? Comic book movies are different than most movies because, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is Martin Scorsese's latest movie, nobody was familiar with those characters for decades before it came out. Whereas when you're making a Batman movie or a Superman movie, there are, these characters go back to 1940. So people are already very attached to these characters, and people fan cast comic book movies every single day on Twitter. So to say that it's crazy for James Gunn to ask fans for suggestions is insane because people fan cast all day. You know what? There's actually one that I want to make sure you include because I should have sent it to you earlier, whatever. But before we go through the rest of them, it's funny because there was a girl. I'm actually going to throw her by name because she deserves it. What's her name?
We're gonna make you famous today.
Yeah, this clown. Okay, so this woman, her name is Nessa Knoll at I am Nessa Knoll, and she has her IMDb link in our bio, and she says she's an actor. She retweeted one of the posts criticizing me for talking about James Gunn. This woman, she has a fan cast of herself as her pinned post, okay? Of herself. Get the F out of here, okay? Because you are desperate to be casted in a James Gunn movie, okay? And if James Gunn were making the X-Men movie, it would be you who's backing him. Because all over her Twitter, she's fan casting herself as Storm. All right, let's get to the next one. You're mute.
She wants to be Storm?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
You don't trust your own opinion, so you outsource your thinking to YouTubers, a la Gunn going on Twitter to straight up ask people what he should add in his movie. It's giving zero vision and desperate need to be liked. First of all, I am the YouTuber genius. Number one. Number two, desperate need to be liked. I don't know where you got that from. And why are you talking like a woman influencer? It's giving. It's giving. Like, who are you? Kim Kardashian? Talk like a normal person. So, okay. So this one, okay. Oh, so I said, and he responded to me, oh, okay, listen to the fans doesn't mean listen to the fans when it's James Gunn. Exactly, because whatever. Okay, so listen to the fans suddenly stops meaning listen to the fans when it's James Gunn. And that's my point. These people who are like, this guy had Sell the Snyderverse to Netflix in his name, okay? If you think that they're going to sell the Snyderverse, which isn't even a real thing, it isn't even a real thing. That's like saying what's his name? The Taika Waititi verse, because Taika Waititi directed 2 movies in the MCU. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. And DC is not putting all this money behind the DCU to have a competing universe alongside it on Netflix. Listen, I've said it before on the show, but for those of you who are new or were just listening to this clip, whatever, I used to work for one of the biggest shoe brands in the United States. And when they had 2 shoes that were kind of similar, they would never release them at the same time because they wouldn't want one product to compete with the other and to stunt the sales of each, because that's what you end up doing. People only have so much attention and so much money to spend. So DC is not going to stunt their James Gunn-led DC universe because a couple people on Twitter who harass them every single day want another Zack Snyder movie. And by the way, why would they? They gave you guys the Snyder Cut, and you still throw a fit every single day. Grow up.
All right. Let's get it.
So this one. But seriously, imagine devoting months of your life, sacrificing personal moments and your limited time only for it to disappear and mean nothing. As much as it's fun to point out hypocrisy of those who enabled this behavior, no artist deserves this. You know,
It's not as personal as people make it. Like people act like the fire against Zack Snyder was his personal, like vendetta against who he is as a person. No one's saying that Zack Snyder is a bad person. All it's saying is that his vision didn't align with what DC wanted to do. Like it's like people, but comic cuts. If you read this, doesn't seem like it's very personal. Like even with Henry Cavill, like they say, oh, they hated Cavill. No, they just didn't want him to play Superman anymore. I mean, it's not that like.
right. This is why we call you guys snowflakes. It's like, Zack Snyder was hired to do a job. They paid him to do the job. Like, that's how it works, okay? If you want to make art and be like really sentimental about it, go make a painting and hope it gets into the MoMA. I don't know what to tell you. This is Hollywood. It's a business,
And it's cutthroat. It's a cutthroat. It's cutthroat, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of people don't even get this far, Yeah, and they gave him multiple chances to make a good film.
And you know what? Like, I know a lot of people want to believe that movies are an art form first, but they're not. It's commerce meets art, not art meets commerce. Commerce meets art. And if you do not understand that and you grow too attached to a certain director, you are going to be butthurt time and time again. Zack Snyder made a lot of money. He's very successful in terms of a director. I'm not saying his movies were successful in DC because it obviously was a failure. They had to reboot the entire thing and start over, which they obviously don't want to do that. Why would anyone ever want to start over like 10 years later? But it obviously didn't work. And listen, Zack Snyder, Rebel Moon, also obviously, in terms of quality, didn't meet the standards with a lot of Snyder fans. Most Snyder fans online, I mean, they called it a mediocre movie the next day. I mean, now that, it's all in their usernames and everything. But listen, Zack Snyder's making a lot of money with Netflix. Whether the movies are good or bad, financially, he's been very successful. Okay. And enabled this behavior. Like, you guys talk about it like you talk about it the way people do when they're offended by a politician. It's not that serious.
Yeah, it's just movies, bro. Like, it's not like, and maybe there was a personal like vendetta out for him, but that's just the way Hollywood works, bro. That's the way business works. If you piss off the wrong people, you'll have to pay for it. I mean, that's just the reality. And and we don't know what happened behind the scenes, but like we saw the storyboards for the future, which is why they backed off. So,
and by the way, I think I saw my buddy Slav, who was saying, I think it was him. He was saying the other day, like, there were a lot of problems behind the scenes, even behind the Snyder Cut. Like, they basically gave him another $70 million to reshoot the movie, and they just told him, like, we really don't want you using Green Lantern. That's like the one big thing that they said, apparently. And he still went behind their back and shot a Green Lantern scene on his driveway. Okay? So, sounds like he kind of brought some of it on himself.
Wait, that was his house? That last scene?
No, that was you're confusing Martian Manhunter with Green Lantern. Okay. You know that photo of Jon Stewart?
When he's standing in his backyard.
I think it's the driveway. I don't think it's the backyard.
Okay.
But it wasn't even in the movie. You know the picture I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah, there is a Green Lantern scene in it, yo.
Oh, well, no, that was a different lantern. I'm talking about the Jon Stewart picture.
Yeah, wait, no, hold on. There is Green Lantern is in the Snyder Cut, bro.
No, but you're talking about that battle scene with Darkseid.
No. I'm talking about the end. Hold on.
No,
Am I on crack?
Yeah,
Am I tripping?
I think you're confusing Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter visits Bruce Wayne at the end.
Did I see a fan art or something?
Yeah, it's not a fan art. It's a photo from the scene that Warner Brothers didn't let him use. But he still went and shot it behind their backs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hey, go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, I think that's the last of it. But
Okay.
This clown. This guy,
So this is where we're going to end here, guys. Look, we are really excited about Deadpool and for what the future is going to hold for the MCU. And as I said, we're super excited. X-Men 97 is coming out. We're covering that. By the way, just so you guys know, Echo was amazing, shocking.
Yeah,
because we really doubted that project. I gotta give it to Marvel, man. That joint's fire. I ain't gonna lie.
It is.
That joint's hard. Shout out to them for proving us wrong. But we are really excited for the future, which is Deadpool, and we're going to be covering a lot. We're going to get a video out about Deadpool tomorrow morning, and we'll be uploading for the rest of the week. So, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. I want to just talk to you guys about something real fast. So, Comic tonight, we're shopping around ideas, and please leave the comments, and maybe I'll post a poll in our comments to see. We are thinking about maybe once or twice a month doing a Thursday podcast, but instead of news, that'll be more fun. So we'll do we'll do rankings, debates, versus, a bunch of fun stuff like that. So if you guys want to see that twice a month, I am going to leave a comment. If it gets in the range from 50 to 100 likes, we will do it. Okay, and so that's kind of what we're going to do. So. And so we would love to hear you guys' feedback on that. Please subscribe to our other channels, Fantasy Cuts and Action Cuts, channels that we are working on, getting ready for you guys. Remember, whenever there's an action film, we will be on there. Whenever there's a fantasy film, we will be on there posting. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day and peace out.
Peace.